What is up, guys? We're back with another video, and today we're going to be watching a documentary. It is deepest part of the ocean's full documentary HD.
Earth, a 4.5 billion-year-old planet, still evolving. As continents shift and clash, volcanoes erupt, and glaciers grow and recede. The Earth's crust is carved in numerous and fascinating ways, leaving a trail of geological mysteries behind. In this episode, the Marianas Trench, the deepest point on Earth, is explored. Its sheer walls cut 7 miles into the Pacific Ocean. The mystery of what created this deep, dark chasm takes science detectives on some of the most dangerous dives ever attempted. Deep into the abyss. Scouring the ocean floor, scientists uncover a strange undersea world of fiery mountains, bizarre mud volcanoes, and the largest geological structure on Earth. Discoveries from this unique underwater world will revolutionize our understanding of the powerful forces that shape not just the trench, but the Earth itself.
Chica, on my old videos.
Hidden deep beneath the waves of the Western Pacific lies the Marianas Trench, the deepest point of all the oceans. The first step on the journey of what created this mysterious scar in the Earth's crust and how it continues to mold the planet takes us back to 1872, when a British research vessel, HMS Challenger, set out on the first ever mission to map the ocean floor.
Throughout most of recorded history, men had just assumed that beyond a certain level the sea was pretty flat, pretty dead, fairly lifeless. They weren't expecting to find anything very interesting.
For 4 years, the Challenger crisscrossed the oceans, covering 70,000 miles, a third of the distance to the moon. The crew plumbed the depth.
Fighting a boss without a tank. Which we're actually doing just fine. Like, we kicked our tank.
Chica's right here, we'll do this video, this freaking video load.
So we have 3 DPS and a healer.
Okay, we're back on. Woo.
Depths every 140 miles, using a total of 249 miles of rope and hundreds of pounds of lead weight. It was tedious, backbreaking work, but at the time it was the only way to measure the depth of the ocean floor. When they got to the Western Pacific, 200 miles off the island of Guam, the crew routinely lowered the rope for a measurement. But the weight kept on dropping and dropping.
It's a big surprise. Nobody thought the ocean was this deep. So all of a sudden we've got scientists saying, why is that?
Eventually, the weight struck the bottom at 4,475 fathoms, nearly 5 miles beneath the ocean's surface.
The scientists will be going, wow, we've found something, and what does it mean? Is it a little hole? Is it a big hole? What kind of feature is it down there? There's a whole lot of questions you get when you find this one spectacular reading.
The Challenger expedition marked the birth of modern oceanography and provided the first crude map of the ocean floor. It showed how the ocean floor gently slopes away from the land and then plummets thousands of feet into vast flat plains. But the Western Pacific is different. It drops off again into the 5-mile deep hole, a hole that blew right out of the water the long-held belief that the sea floor was flat and featureless. And it spawned a mystery, because nobody could understand how this strange underwater feature came about. It would be 75 years before any answers emerged. It took a revolutionary new technology, sonar, to push the investigation forward to the next crucial stage.
Someone better fucking heal me. Or resurrect me.
Sonar was first developed in the early 1900s and then perfected during the 1940s to detect submarines lurking in the deep.
Let's do this video. This one's a little shorter.
Stay here or come back.
Excuse me.
It's a mercy. It's better.
Spider. There's red and blue. Count like the radioactive Spider-Man spider. Add numbers on it too. It's probably nothing. Oh, there's Snapdragon on that spider web. My tongue produces.
Yeah, I'm over here in that mine.
Hurry up and please, please,
I told you though. It just took me a while to get there.
Feel the
Wild as tea. Brewed a bit wild. Welcome back to List Jumbo. You might not think of danger when you think of water slides. In fact, you might assume that water slides are safe. But the water slides on this list will have you rethinking your assumptions. Here are the top 10 most dangerous water slides. Number 10. Insano, Brazil Beach Park, Brazil. The Insano slide is insanely steep and is located at the beach of Porto das Dunas in Aquiraz in Brazil. The 41-meter high slide sends its sliders down a near vertical
my gosh.
You're legitimately just running through people.
drop and into an exit pool below. The slide opened in 1989, and when it did, it was the tallest water slide in the world. The slide is not for the faint of heart, though. In fact, employees at the water park say that they enjoy watching the sliders panic at the top of the slide, and that they have even seen sliders cry while sliding. The ride is only 5 seconds long, but because it is so steep, some sliders lose contact with the slide and actually become airborne during the drop. Because the slide is so dangerous, sliders are instructed on how to ride the slide. They must remain on their backs with their arms and legs crossed. The slide, which gives a great view of the Atlantic Ocean at the top, is no longer the tallest slide in the world, but it remains the fastest, as sliders can reach speeds of a heart-pounding 65 miles per hour.
Damn.
Number 9. The Aqualoop at Wet n Wild, Gold Coast, Australia. The Aqualoop is a near-vertical water slide that sends its riders down a 10-meter drop and into an inclined pool. During the 7-second slide, riders can reach a speed of 60 kilometers per hour and can experience a G-force of 2.5. The slide, which was designed by Whitewater West Aquarina, relies on sliders achieving enough speed to make it around the loop. However, not all sliders do. A woman sued the park for $400,000 when she got stuck on the slide. She was unable to make the loop and found herself stuck at the bottom of the loop. She pulled herself out. Wildish Fritz. Rude, a bit wild.
Why do I get ads on my videos?
Out through an escape hatch, but she experienced several injuries. Nonetheless, the Aqualoop continues to be a popular, albeit dangerous, slide at Wet n Wild. In fact, the park itself is the busiest water park in Australia and the 8th busiest water park in the world. Thousands of sliders ride the dangerous Aqualoop annually. Number 8. The Black Hole, Wet n Wild, Orlando, Florida. The Black Hole water slide is an inline tube slide located at what is considered to be America's first water park. Wet n Wild Orlando is owned by NBC Universal and was founded by the creator of SeaWorld, George Millay. The menacing black tubes of the Black Hole look ominous, and rightfully so. The Black Hole has faced numerous lawsuits over the years, including a $1.73 million payout to a man who was severely injured in 1994 when he struck something during the ride. Part of the danger of the slide stems from the timing of the ride. It takes a 2-person tube 23 seconds to complete the ride. However, the staff is told to send people down at 20-second intervals. This does not leave enough time for people to safely exit the ride before the next riders are sent down, making it a dangerous sliding experience. Number 7. The Steamer Slide at Calypso Water Park, Ontario. The Steamer Slide at Calypso Water Park, Ontario is a dangerous tube slide that has repeatedly injured its riders. In fact, in 2015, Calypso Water Park was facing 20 separate charges from injured people. Riders of the steamer slide sit on a tube, slide through a dark tunnel, and then spin around a bowl. However, when the slide was investigated, it was discovered that the steamer slide had developed a buckle in an area of the slide that was causing the tubes to flip over. The Technical Standards and Safety Act, which oversees Ontario's amusement park rides, accused the park of negligence and of not having the proper equipment to ensure the safety of it.
Dang it. I'm gonna end the video here. It's a nice one, guys.
Riders. And although some of the charges were dismissed,